right. Setting up your meeting. So we must be live at this point. It's always a little bit of a gap, but thanks so much for being part of the local business lounge conversation, Terri. I'm so excited to have you and to talk all things promotional marketing. So if you have not met Terri McIlhon, she has been with Image Solutions, started it with her husband 17 years ago. And I have known Terri since my first kind of full-time job. You're not supposed to call it a job, but I was doing AmeriCorps service at Rebuilding Together, and you have been working with them too. And I just kind of every new job I had and everything I was doing after with projects, I feel like I was always staying connected with Terri because she does so much amazing work for people in our local community here in Des Moines and beyond to support them with their needs for promotional marketing and a little bit more. So I wanted to bring her on to inspire you, people here in this community, to think through what types of promotional marketing materials or things you might want for your business. So Terri, in your words, introduce us and tell us who you are.
Terri McIlhon from Image Solutions. My husband, John, and I started the company 17 years ago, which is hard to believe. It's gone fast. Our kids were little, and we have 3 kids, and they were little, and now they're grown, and my youngest is going to graduate from high school. So that's kind of a wild little adventure. My husband comes from a business to business sales background. I come from an advertising background, so it's a perfect industry for us, and it's fun and creative and fast paced and all the things that we love about our business and our industry. So we work with just the widest variety of organizations you can imagine, from, your mom and pop shop electrical company to Fortune 500 companies, really the gamut, and everyone kind of falls in kind of somewhere in that spectrum. We work with nonprofit organizations, events, associations, just really anybody. The great thing about our business is everybody can use our products, and really isn't we try not to make any obstacles when it comes to using promotional marketing. If you are a sole practitioner, you can use promotional marketing. I work with several sole practitioners that buy pens, or they maybe have us help them do mailings to their customers. And there are just a lot of opportunities to really stand out as a business by using a lot of our products. I tell people basics, they're always like, what's new, what's great, and like starting with your basics. Do you have a shirt with your logo on it? I just did some shirts for you.
I know, yeah.
Kind of the basic thing, and it doesn't have to be that you order 500 shirts. You order one shirt with your logo on it. To pens, to business card magnets, just to what are the basic things? Where are you out and about in the community and meeting people that would support your organization? And that's really where we can start to doing fun and crazy things. I have some things in the background that we've done that are just like really, and I can really find anything and put your logo on it.
That's what I feel like.
You've
had enough experience working with so many people that, like, when they come to you saying like, hey, I have an event coming up, or like I'm launching my new business, you can kind of spitfire, like, here are the things a lot of people, when they start something like this, choose to create or have. So do you have any examples of, like, say I'm opening a brick and mortar and I'm like, I want some things that are on brand, right? They have like Love Local on them. What would you say, like, I should be considering first?
Well, I'm going to share a couple. I'm going to share a screen, and I have some examples of some products. This is a wonderful company in Des Moines. They actually are all over the Midwest and the Southeast with a different division, and I love working with the Waldiner Corporation. I do online web store for them. They'd be an example of a large organization, but the ideas apply to everybody. So where do they start? They have a basic Bic pen. They have a power bank, USB, business card magnets, a journal. Another product they have that I like a lot are your, I actually have it in my background, so it has my coffee in it.
I see.
An insulated tumbler. We have suppliers with really low minimums on these products. There shouldn't be any barriers to starting with. I mean, honestly, I'm in a women's breakfast club, and there are a lot of very small women-owned businesses in my organization, and they just start with a box of pens. Or maybe like, this is one of my favorite pieces. This is a sweatshirt material. It's so awesome. But they just start with, maybe some logoed apparel. Women don't wear polo shirts like they used to, but something like what I have on, which is a pullover, kind of an updated modern take on a button-down shirt. This is a really fun cardigan. So it's just some things that, when you're going out to represent your organization, you have, when you're going to a networking group, that you have something that you can wear. When you're doing something like this, when you're on Zoom, I like to have something that has a left chest embroidery, so people can say, hey, I'm Image Solutions. Lately, it's been masks. And so this is what I like about a mask too, because I'm safe. I'm out in the community safely, always with a mask on, and always with a mask on with my logo on it, because no one knows who I am when I show up, because
so true.
Our faces are covered. So getting a logo, right now, and hopefully this won't last forever. This is an example of, this isn't a way I thought I'd walk into a company to need to represent my business, but we have a lot of masks here with our logo on it. So just anything you can be out in the community and representing yourself and leaving a little something behind. I love journals. I think that was one that I showed on this page. Love a really nice journal. This is one that I've used a lot, and I have suppliers with relatively low minimums on something like a journal. And I love all the technology lately. I think people still really like a journal.
Absolutely. Spiral bound is always like my go-to, but I feel like so much of what you get to do is helping people not only with the brand awareness, because you can have these things that, like, say if you're tabling an event or you're out networking for the first time, like you're associating your name with, a logo or whatever it is in that scenario. So it's part brand awareness, but it's also a lot of times you can create different items that are unique for maybe your top customers or your best customers or your favorite vendors. And I think that's where it gets like really fun in this space of what you get to do, because you can create so many different promotional marketing items for different intentions. So I'm sure you have a handful of clients that you work with that do that for customers. Is that true?
I think that's something I'm doing every day. There's so many products that people like for a client gift. This year it's been interesting. So my number one client gift has been a blanket. You think about people working from home, only seeing this part. So they have a nice little logo blanket on their lap. So I've done a lot of blankets. I've done a lot of products that speak to somebody being at home. So a fun cooler, a barbecue set, the tumblers. I've done a ton of wine tumblers, which I think is hilarious. I've done a ton of handle insulated tumblers, something that's more, that this tumbler is my favorite, the one that I just showed the Waldiner logo. People aren't in their cars as much, so why not do a white tumbler?
Yes.
So just, one of the more interesting, so you talked about being specific to an industry. I did this for, this is a division of Waldiner for a branch in Florida.
Okay.
And think about different areas of the country. A belt buckle.
I was like, is that a belt buckle? Then yes, it is.
It's a belt buckle. It came in a full box. That is amazing. To their audience. So I really, I can find anything that would speak to their audience.
Yeah. So if people are like, oh my gosh, cool, like I want to look at some items that maybe would have my logo, my brand, my name, whatever on it, you do have a website where people can search. Is that is that a good place for people to kind of get their wheels turning for ideas?
I love our website. I'm going to share a screen with our website. So for a couple of reasons. First of all, you can see kind of some of the organizations we work with, which is kind of fun. But the best thing I like about our, I'm going to just enter in a popular category. So one of the things I love about our website is you can go on there, you can search for anything. I mean, you pull up grocery totes. There are a million grocery totes to pull up. But the way that the back end of our website works is that the options that pull up are our favorites.
Okay.
So And a lot of people do like to search, and they like to go on here and just look for, I want, okay, this one comes in teal and I really want a teal bag, that kind of thing. For a lot of people, I just read an interesting article recently. One of the best things we can do as marketing folks is to limit the number of choices. Think about me going into Costco and so, oh my gosh, too much. It's too many choices. Yeah. So I think people feel like that with promotional marketing. So if they Google grocery totes, they might get, you can see you're at like 5,000.
Oh my gosh, I just noticed that.
You're at 5,000 options. That's a lot, and people can't. Yeah. So what I usually suggest is feel free to use our website. I love when people use our website. Yeah. But if you say, hey, I want a grocery tote, I need 300 of them. I want it to be kind of bigger. I'm going to put these things inside of it. This is my budget. This is the color I'm looking for. Let us do the work for you and help you narrow it down. That's, I think, the thing that we can really help our customers with is first is I want to say the online folks, which the online folks they do a good job. We work with all the same suppliers. We have if same if not better pricing, but we don't have to make this search so hard for you. We can really narrow it down. And you might say, hey, I have a event coming up, a sales meeting. I want to spend $5 per participant. And what are some ideas I can just come up with?
Yeah, because I would assume the perception is that like, oh, if I work with someone like Terri, it's going to be more expensive than if I go to like xyz.com where I just like plop things on. But I don't think that's true, is it?
It's absolutely not true. And we do spend time looking at some of those online folks, and we get sometimes my customers will be like, I looked at this website, but I want you to find it. And so that works for you. But our website does the same thing, but sometimes the fancier, big national online folks have like 360 view, and that's all, But we are members of big trade organizations. We've been in business for 17 years, and in our industry, we are a pretty big company. We're a pretty big distributor and a pretty big customer of these suppliers that we work with. So we get the best pricing that you can get, and we pass on that pricing to our customers. We feel really strongly about that and making everything a good value, affordable, but then having the service and the ideas and that you're going to get what you expect. And I think people, this can make a lot of people, it's like anything. I think when you own a business and you're looking at any kind of investment, whether it's to work with a digital marketing person or if it's just there's this barrier. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking, and I'm going to spend this money, and what if I don't like it? And we never want it to be a surprise. We provide samples and virtuals and graphic design. We have a wonderful graphic designer, and we'll do printed samples if it makes sense. And we really want our customers to feel comfortable with, not opening. They want them to open the box and like, oh my gosh, these shirts are the coolest shirts we've ever seen. They're like, oh, that's not what I expected. We want to meet everyone's expectation and exceed their expectations.
Yeah. And like working, so we work together, client relationship now, but before like having, when I was doing the Meredith project and like ordering shirts from you and being like, oh my gosh, like these sizing maybe seems different because it was a different lot. Remember, we figured that out. Like you like addressed it immediately. What I love is that like you were accessible, your team was ready and able to answer my questions because it was like there was no issue with it. It was just confusion on,
that's a good point, because that's the thing that you get with all these years of experience we have, because there are people out there that it's really, there's so many products, so many input methods, so much product knowledge that we have. And we're like, especially my husband and I, and our salesman Stockton, who's been in the industry for a long time too. Yeah. We're like encyclopedias for this information. We could tell, hey, I think it's a different lot. Like I knew, we know some of these things, and we know like Meredith's branding standards, and we know that we have to knit PMS matches to their colors. And so we go into these projects knowing, and getting you, and you representing you're representing, you're the liaison between Rebuilding Together and Meredith, and making sure that, and I work with a lot of folks like that, and making sure that we're making everybody look good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this was
in that case, just charge the teachers a little bit.
Yeah. Make it work for sure.
That was Bella Canvas, which is, I think that's
Yep.
that's a supplier that has kind of those lot. But
Yep.
that was long enough ago, Emily, that doesn't hardly ever happen anymore. They
That's
really
crazy. Yeah.
tightened up their the way they cut the shirts, and the sizing is very, very consistent between
Yeah, because it could
shirts.
really
Very
confuse people,
consistent.
I'm sure, like in the moment too. So, no, this was super helpful. I feel like for anyone who's interested in it, like, I feel like one of the best things to do is just like send you an email or call you because some of this stuff, like you said, is information overload. Like, if you want to go into it and you're like, I want to start at $500 or I want to start at 5,000, whatever your budget is, like Terry can really help you like pull your vision, your idea together, the budget you have. You talk to someone who's like totally conversational, just like this, and see if like she'll find the right fit for you, which is what I love about what you do, like face to face. So good.
Well, and we don't, it can just be an idea. And there's no, I mean, you could say, hey, someday I want some shirts. What are some ideas? And
Yeah.
just kind of get the ball rolling. We're here for ideas. We're never going to hard sell anybody. We want to be here for our customers and for potential customers. And we know that everybody we talk to talks to a lot of other people. So there's really there's no customer too small for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Well, where can people find out more about you if they're ready to take the next step and learning?
So I've shared my
Okay.
we have a little bit of an awkward email address, or I mean a web address, but it's imagesolutionsdm.com. And my email is terry@imagesolutionsdm.com. But if you Google Image Solutions in Des Moines, you will find us. We pop right up to the top.
Perfect. And anyone watching this that isn't in Des Moines, you obviously work with people all over. So that's
we
awesome.
do. We work with people all over the country, but we really, Des Moines and Central Iowa and Iowa are really important to us. That's definitely the lion's share of who we work with.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for popping into the
Thank
local
you.
lounge and for this conversation, Terry.
Thanks, Emily. I appreciate it.